What's up, everybody? C4 back once more, and dude, I am so freaking stoked. HCS Worlds is taking place this weekend. The Halo World Championship is just 2 days away, and I just wanted to kind of get my head in the mood, get in the vibe to talk about the Halo project update with the rumor of the Halo CE remake. And I found a little post on Reddit, gonna kind of go over it and kind of give some of my thoughts on some of the comments here. But some people were, already trying to imprint their ideas on what should be in the CE remake, what should come from it. And so we're gonna take a little peek here at the Reddit real quick, hop on over here and just read this post and just talk about it just a little bit and see what you guys think as well. And I'll kind of give you some of my thoughts on what maybe they should do to make this remake the best remake possible, obviously. But this post says, what would you want from a CE remake? Now, with strong rumors of a CE remake being imminent, the question comes up of what sort of remake would it be? Assuming the rumors are accurate, what would you want it to be? A straight-up remaster, similar to the Halo Anniversary with the exact same levels, encounters, and geometry, but upgraded graphics. A from-the-ground remake that still tries to stay true to the original with more or less the same levels, vehicles, and weapons, but just some modern quality of life features, or a complete overhaul with reimagined levels, new vehicles, weapons, enemies from all over the franchise. Now, I think, personally, don't go the route of just ripping off the original CE remake the original game and basically doing a one-for-one. Add some new elements, some new mechanics, some different weapons. Obviously, you want the classic weapons in there as well, but add some new weapons that have been around for a while. Like, there's some weapons from Reach or Halo 2 or even 3 that you could possibly put in there that would tie in pretty well, I would say. Like the Needler rifle would be one, for instance, or some of the weapons from Halo 2, like the battle rifle. That would be kind of cool to see, I guess. Just something different. Something to spice it up. Now let's jump down in the comments here and read a little bit. This person said, I'd like to see a remake along the lines of Dead Space. Now, I haven't played Dead Space. I had a friend that played it, so I kind of know a little bit about it. But yeah, I think the remake they killed it. So still staying true to the original, but making it a couple structure updates, enhance the experience, as well as an updated script that better matches the tone and characterization of the rest of the franchise. Give more of an arc to Chief and Cortana's relationship, better integrate Johnson into the plot as an actual character, and maybe include some of the additional lore from the Flood and Fireteam Raven. Now, I'm going to have to agree with everything this man said here in this comment. I do believe it would be nice to see Johnson better integrated into the plot. And then, like you said, he said, see some additional lore from the Flood, Fireteam Raven. Not really familiar with the Fireteam Raven lore. Not really. I mean, I know a little bit more about the Flood than I do Fireteam Raven. I'm not a big lore guy, but I do like a good campaign. This guy said something about he had something similar in mind to what Doom 2016 did for Doom. Modernize the gameplay using extensions and expansions of existing mechanics, collectibles, Easter egg out the wazoo for keen-eyed players, and a holistic story that doesn't add new lore, keeping any story alterations to maybe harmonizing the books with the game. So this guy right here doesn't want it really to change as far as the lore goes. Doesn't want anything new added. I might have to agree with that, but they could do a little bit better, maybe tying in the story altogether. I would keep it really simple. I wouldn't deviate from the path on the story. He also mentioned ODSTs. That would be a cool addition. And then it talks about the Bible, the design Bible used for the first game, a strong mix of Marines and Predator and Japanese influence. He's like, I don't want it to be big British elites. I want sleek and deadly elites. I don't want synchronous 2025 American soldiers on the autumn. I want big chunky metal plates, meaty buttons and knobs and matrix screens. I don't need it to be realistic. I need it to be atmospheric first and foremost, with a strong sense of style. I'd love to feel that horror that I did as a kid with the Flood reveal. Now, yes, he said also give it an M rating. Give me more gore, what we've been missing basically in Halo for the past decade or more. I do have to agree. I think it needs to have the M rating. I think kids are still going to be able to play this game. Their parents are going to buy it for them, regardless. They could be playing worse games like Grand Theft Auto, for instance. I think the M rating should come back. This is more of an adult game now at this point. It always has been for the most point, even though like a lot of us grew up and we were underage. But still, we played it, right? Yeah, and I think it does need to be atmospheric to a certain extent. I like that. Let's move on down here. For it to not exist, I'm not confident in Halo Studios to do Siege justice, and I prefer they actually elaborate on what was said. Yeah, he's basically wanting something else that sets up Infinite, based off of that campaign. Yeah, that would be cool, but this CE remake could be good, and I'm all for it if they can pull it off, right? This guy said I want what if CE was made in 2025 with modern sensibilities, maybe a slightly longer, more replayable experience, optimal progression elements and stuff like that. I figure if it's getting remade, they might as well try to push the envelope and try something new, especially because we already have the near perfect original. I understand that there are good and bad things about how those games were made those days, but to be honest, it was no different in 2001. Yeah, I think yeah, we need to push the envelope a little bit. I do agree there. Modern sensibilities like mechanics and stuff, obviously, and replayability can go a long ways as well. This guy wants gore back, blood spattering, maybe even the limbs. He's like, I want battlefield level destruction, like when bullets bounce off the stationary shields. That'd be cool. I agree. He's like, I want a stylized art style similar to Halo 3, but modern graphics. I want them to lean into the horror of the Flood by making it look eerie, and I want them to include missions from the book, expand the story. I have to agree on all fronts there. I think he's right, 100%. This guy, there's another guy for the Blood. He's like, people complain about wanting the old feel of Halo back and then ask for things like dismemberment, which has never been a key feature of experience. Yes, it's obvious, but we need gore. We do need that. Just a straight up remake, improvising upon the graphics, but keeping what made the original Combat Evolved so good. Yeah, I think it'd be nice to have some modernization. If you're gonna do a remake, you might as well do it right off the gate. This guy wants Halo Infinite gameplay in a visual style with an expanded story, more interactions with the UNSC forces, bigger scale fights, darker, more reach in tone. More tie-ins to the Flood novel and Halo 2 anniversary quality cinematics and more John 117 moments like in Infinite and 4. I'm down for all this. The Halo Infinite gameplay, I think that would blend very well to it with the visual style. I think it's perfect for it, to be honest. I do agree with expanding the story a little bit. I think you can still expand the story and stay true to the original. You just add little tidbits here and there, a little bit more lore. I think that can go a long ways. More interaction with the UNSC forces, yep. And obviously, you gotta have the bigger scale fights. And I do want a darker Halo game when it comes to, especially this game, because you're gonna have the Flood in it. When it comes to the campaign, and obviously, we've got to have quality cinematics. The Halo 2 anniversary knocked that out of the park. Obviously, let's go on down a little bit. This one's a little bit more lengthy. Basically, this guy wants, add the Wraith hatch breaking and grenade planting features from the sequel. I think that would be a cool mechanic to put in here. It's something new to the CE hemisphere. This guy said make the pistol hit detection more consistent in line with the sequels. Yeah, I think that's fine. Talks about grunts for a second. Change the cave in a Halo mission so it starts out generally looking like a natural formation. This is about correcting the line of the Cortana log where she says it's an artificial structure. And that's all right. I'm not gonna this guy he also talked about hunters keeping them single shot. He's like, he doesn't know if they should keep them single shot weak points or make them generally just scary damage tanks like they were in the sequels. I think it would be pretty cool if they were a little bit tanky and they weren't so easy to take out. And then he's like, I wouldn't change the length or relentlessness of the library, and that was a very hard level. I think it should still be pretty hard. They could maybe give us some more markers to kind of navigate a little bit better. I know it was everybody's complaining that it was a maze back in the original, and it was hard to navigate. It is. This guy wants Arby back in somehow. I don't see how that's happening, but that'd be cool, I guess. My biggest problem with Yeah, so his problem was with the story. So if they remade C from the ground up, keep the same dialogue, plot, and levels, but modernizing gameplay, I think that's cool. I think it's totally fine, honestly. Let's see. Let's move on down a little bit. Yeah, it's just a lot of good ideas. I don't see too much more here. Big improvements from the Flood 1 and 2 and 3. Bring in improvements for the Flood from 2 and 3. Infectious forms be able to turn both dead and living NPCs. Combat forms being able to be killed by headshots. Combat forms being able to use and hijack vehicles. And he wants brutes. I think that's totally fine. I wouldn't be opposed to any of that. Then he talks about trimming down the missions of this guy talks about trimming down assault in the control room and the library, since they took a long time and they were kind of like a maze, and they were like repeat levels for the most part. So he wants new missions also to be added to do more justice to the Flood. You showcase how the Flood spread and affects biomes and life. He wants the inclusion of ODSTs like we saw before, maybe a Linda cameo, the Spartan. Not to mention make Johnson an unkillable AI, and why not a cameo from Arbiter? Okay, there's another Arbiter fan. So in terms of weapons, he wants to see the DMR SMG, the grenade launcher, needler rifle, energy sword, fuel rod cannon to be weapons, as well as the plasma and machine turrets. Maybe the Wraith, a vehicle that we could pilot possibly. He also wants assassinations, dual wield, and if sprint is in the game, to make it more like Infinite, where it's nerfed down a little bit. And of course, split screen, biggest one, split screen. It has to have split screen, dude. Has to have split screen for sure, 100%. Yeah, let's go on down a little bit. Let's see what else we got. These are some characters I don't know. Sharkwai, Morlath. Add those, I guess. I'm not sure. It's a Forerunner art style, something like that. I don't know what he meant by those words. Yeah, and then just doesn't. Some people just don't want it to be completely rewritten or change the canon of the story that we're used to. Keeping the art style closer to traditional Halo with reasonable changes like Infinite's art style, which was pretty great aside from the brute banish stuff. He says. Yeah, I mean. I kind of agree. Here's another library thing. It's probably this guy wants it to be completely redesigned, a library section. I'm down for that. Down for that completely. This guy mentions Guilty Spark. I guess an infinite design on the Guilty Spark, and then this guy says Fucru says they should learn a few lessons from the Resident Evil remakes. Those games kept the spirit of the originals while still expanding on the gameplay and storyline to keep the experience fresh for new and old players. Yeah, I agree. Even though I didn't play it, I mean, it looked good. This guy just said basically fix the repetition in the levels either by cutting those parts out or making new ones entirely, and give us less Flood monster closets. Not sure what he means by that. But I'm open to try new things, like maybe add in equipment. Yeah, equipment could be pretty cool. Yeah, but that's like, that's going to be pretty much the video, guys. I mean, I'm about to be at the World Championship in Seattle. I'm flying in tomorrow. By the time this video's up, I'll be on the plane already, flying in. So, yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you think some of these suggestions that were on this Reddit post over in the Halo subreddit, do you think they were good ideas? What are you looking forward to the C remake having in it or adding? Are you looking for changes? You looking for more newer mechanics, equipment, weapons, vehicles, story elements, lore, like all those little tidbits? What are you looking for? Maybe some cameos and character appearances. Let me know in the comments below. And guys, next time you see me, I'll have a Worlds vlog up on the Mythic Gaming channel. Go check out Mythic Gaming. All of the socials are in the description below, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.